All that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called Bidenomics. That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Hi, I'm Nat.
And I'm Guy. And today we're going to talk about the stock market crash that happened yesterday. A lot of people are in a big panic, but what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, it's something that was inevitable given how much spending the US did during COVID and inflation fears, and that's is at least what people are being told in like the mainstream narrative of what's happening with the stock market. I mean, we also saw that, for example, Japan went down before than the US, and they're calling it the biggest crash since the Black Monday of '87, I believe. And then the main excuse that they're giving is this jobs report that came out on Friday, but I don't know if that's really, I mean, that's what they're telling, but.
Okay, there's two things I'd like to go off of there. Number one, I don't know if this is necessarily the big crash. I think everybody's expecting a big crash because it's kind of like a pyramid scheme, how the Western economy works with the stock market. But this looks more of a response to the Israeli-Iran conflict, in my opinion. I think Iran's going to respond in a big way, and they do have the ability to shut off one of the big straits in the world that...
But what would they be responding to?
Israel killed the Hamas leader in Iran rather than killed the Hamas leader in Qatar, which he also stays. So it was a direct trying to provoke the Iranians, I believe. The Iranians really need to make a statement. Otherwise, they're going to get walked all over by Israel. Israel's been trying to pick a war with them for a little while now. And the last time they negotiated with the U.S. of where and when to strike, and Israel was made aware of that. So it was really them pulling their punches. This time, I'm thinking they're not going to pull their punches, and I think the stock market is reacting to that. But number two, I don't think this is the big crash. And could it be a domino effect if banks start collapsing? Yes. But my attention's really going to be focused on the EU because I think the EU is going to be one of the first Western economies to collapse so they can bring in a CBDC. The banking system and a lot of other factors are really primed for that. I really think they're going to use I thought they were going to use the Ukraine war for that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing we're seeing is that a lot of companies like big tech and Bitcoin's falling a lot too, but a lot of regular companies where you would say, oh, they're pretty immune to any crashes or any issues, they're going down. But for example, military contractors are not. Their stocks are actually going up. So this theory you're having, it might have some weight to it. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Also, if we look at Apple, Warren Buffett is withdrawing a lot of Apple stock right now. So Warren Buffett typically doesn't make a lot of moves, but when he does make moves, he makes big moves, and he makes them during times of collapse or times of struggle in the stock market. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. You got anything else for this crash? Or no?
I mean, another thing that might be indicatory of how badly the Biden-Harris administration is doing is that one of their main economy advisors, Gage Sperling, actually resigned today and is leaving amidst this whole crashing situation. So, I mean, they're not looking good.
Harris doesn't even have any policies put up on her website. Like, she has no fundamental beliefs. You vote for she's trying to ask you to vote against Trump rather than for something. She's not even willing to state what she really believes in.
And I mean, this market crash might also, well, not crash, this market issue might also have something to do with Kamala being the one that's being put forth now officially almost by the Democrat Party. So, I mean, that could also have implications, especially if they're looking towards wartime or a war or going after Iran.
I'm kind of seeing it as in the Democrats are trailing so far behind Trump, even though their fake polls say something else. The sentiment, and if you really look at the polling, Trump's going to win this thing, and he's probably going to win it in a landslide. And because the Democrats may know this and they don't really have a candidate to put up, they're going to set traps for Trump. And the big trap is going to be economic traps. So the U.S. economy may collapse in on his head. And they can stand back, laugh, and then come the 2028 elections, they're hoping to step in and saying, look what Trump did to the economy.
Yeah, and I mean, they're Trump already knows this, essentially. I mean, he said about 6 months ago, oh, they're going to mess up the economy even more, and that's what they're going to leave for me. And it seems like that's exactly the plan.
Well, the thing we're going to have here is the U.S. is still the global currency. The U.S. dollar is still the global currency, but we see big strides being made with the unit. That's the BRICS currency that's coming out. That was created by 2 scientists in Russia and 1 in China. And a lot of countries seem to be signing on to the BRICS, and they are the world majority. So the majority of the world's population is there. If they can create an alternative to the US dollar and it's actually successful, the US dollar is going to crumble under its own weight, especially because the unit is supposed to be backed by gold. So it's a gold-backed currency, which is more stable and people can trust more. I would look for this to come out, and rumors are October they may have a release of this unit. So we'll see.
And I mean, we're also seeing that they're not trying to protect Bitcoin either, because that one's crashing too. So right after Trump announced that he was going to go all in, so it might be an indicator also for the desire to bring in CBDC, or central banking digital currency.
Well, traditionally, when there's a big crash, you'll see gold, silver, and I would put Bitcoin in that category, even though we haven't had a huge crash with Bitcoin there. But gold and silver typically the price will collapse during the collapse, and then it will go way up because everybody's selling their gold and silver to try to shore up their debts and things like that. So gold and silver may be a good investment. We'll see.
But I mean, either way, a lot of people woke up yesterday morning and got pretty surprised and alarmed at what was happening. And it seems like nobody wants to admit that the U.S. is going through a recession and that everything's going to start crumbling even more. Well, hopefully not, but I feel sorry for them.
If the U.S. has done anything to Russia, they've only strengthened their economy because Russia's been forced into a real economy. And their economy is not so much based on the stock market. So if a global collapse happens, because of all the sanctions that happened to Russia, they may be the one country that's actually insulated from this, because even China's heavily invested in the stock market and economy. But I guess that's it for today.
Yeah, so I guess for now, we'll see you soon. Good luck out there.
Thanks for watching. If you can like and subscribe, that will help us get to 1,000 viewers.
Sure. So we can live stream.
There you go. Adios.